Good morning and welcome to the Morning Blend Extra. Today is Friday, May 2nd. I'm Jake Pearson. Coming up on today's show, we have some unique constructions, demolition spectacles, and ways to improve your skincare and makeup game. But first, let's take a quick look at the weather forecast. Looking out there later on today, 63 degrees here for a high, and then once we hit Saturday, we're going to be reaching a high of 60. A little bit chillier here than we've been feeling the last couple of days. Not too bad, because as we extend the forecast, hopefully we should be warming up here as we move a little further into May. So as we enter Sunday, we're going to be raining a little bit more moving forward. Cinco de Mayo coming up on Monday, a high of 63, and then we're going to see that significant warm up. Looks like about 9 degrees or higher from Monday to Tuesday, high of 72 there on Wednesday as well. Another rain chance there, and then we're going back down to 70 degrees there on Thursday. One thing's for sure, I'm definitely glad that we're not going to have as much cloud cover. That's definitely been something that I know has been getting some people down here across the newsroom here. And it's springtime. Everyone's excited for the summer. Everyone's excited for a little bit of that warmth and sunshine. So never a bad idea to have a little bit more of that sun. Live pictures out there from our primetime audio video East State Street cam. And again, as you can see, clouds, overcast there. That's probably going to be the story of the day here, as well as a little bit Saturday. But then as we continue on throughout the rest of the weekend and the rest of next week, we're going to be seeing a little bit more sunshine. Turning to our stories here today, the NFL draft may be over, but some in its host city of Green Bay, Wisconsin are still benefiting from the event. A local nonprofit has taken the surplus of food from the draft and made sure it doesn't go to waste. Reporter Noah Cornelius has the story.
How many pounds of food?
So over 6,615 pounds.
That's heavier than the average weight of a smaller female Asian elephant, according to the National Zoo. And it's also the amount of food that local food recovery nonprofit Rooted in Ink was able to save after the NFL draft.
I work like 80 hours a week.
The nonprofit, founded just over a year ago by Executive Director Selena Darrow.
I was a single mom for 20 years. I struggled with poverty. So making decisions about my food choices was part of, my day-to-day.
With a mission focused on preserving quality food. And at the draft, they received an abundance of it.
Very, very healthy food. A lot of sandwiches, a lot of fruit, vegetables, rice, protein. Like the majority of the food that we distributed was wholesome, nutritious food.
The food was distributed to 13 local food shelters and nonprofits. And now Darrow says they're primed to do even more.
So we will be implementing and offering cooking classes. We will be teaching people how to prevent food waste in their homes on the front end, teaching people how to shop, how to set their pantries up for success.
Certainly a wonderful little cause there. Moving on to our next story, the demolition of a bridge in Peoria lit up the sky Monday night. The McCluggage Bridge in Peoria had been active for over 70 years and is now being replaced. The controlled demolition was originally planned for Wednesday morning, but was moved up to Monday night over weather concerns. Slow motion footage from the Illinois Department of Transportation shows the moment the bridge came down. Holy cow. Man, oh man, holy cow. That would be something I think would be pretty cool to see in person. I know that was actually only the 4th of 8 explosions actually in that Peoria bridge. So definitely something I'm going to be having on my radar, that's for sure. A new Starbucks in Texas is the first of its kind. This one's pretty cool. This Starbucks has a unique design because it's the coffee chain's first 3D printed store here in the U.S. Located along the U.S.-Mexico border, this 3D printed coffee shop is a drive-through only location, and it's actually set to open today. It was constructed with a computer-controlled robotic arm that poured concrete one layer at a time. With this technology still being in early development, we could see more 3D printed stores popping up in the future. Very interesting. There's definitely something I think I heard about 3D printed homes and neighborhoods and things like that. So definitely interested to see where that technology is headed in the future. Coming up, a local skincare expert unveils her new makeup line. We'll learn more when we come back.
From the future. From the hard-hitting action of your Rockford Ice Hawks.
Shot on net. Slaggert scores! Takes it down to the goal line. Draped it across. They score! It's Joey Anderson with a hat trick.
Local baseball action with your Beloit Sky Car.
He's at the wall, and that ball is gone!
to watching the best high school teams across Illinois battle in IHSA football and basketball championships. Exciting college basketball from the NBC. To the now of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Score! Here's Bernard with a shot. Scores! What a goal!
The Chicago Bulls.
Drives it. All the way. Dunk it! Dunk it, Kobe White! Get up or get out the way!
And the Chicago White Sox. The hottest sports action can be seen on the channels of WSLN, the State Line's home for sports.
Spring in the State Line means severe weather season is here.
A powerhouse storm system.
But you're safe because you watched First Alert Weather, and you get the First Alert with forecast for where you live. WIFR First Alert Weather, putting you first.
At Gray Digital Media, we craft engaging campaigns that grab attention and get results. Extending your message across all platforms. Gray Digital Media. We know local. GDMRockford.com.
At WIFR, local news is all about you. News in your neighborhood. Your first alerts to severe weather. Hometown sports. You're informed from people you trust, right here in your community, and not somewhere else. A team that's invested in your hometown as much as you are. Wherever and however you're watching, WIFR, your community, your news.
Welcome back to the Morning Blend Extra. A new makeup line was recently introduced by Brittany Frisella of Glow with Britt. WIFR's Aaron Wilson spoke with her about the new lineup.
It is Glow with Britt time. We got our good friend Britt with us. Hello.
Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Good to see you as we get into spring here, and summer will be just around the corner. We also have Dawn with us. Hello.
Hi.
Good to see you. All right, let's talk about your makeup line. Just waiting for you to get done with patients so we could tape our segments today.
Yes.
People were coming in all about your makeup line, which we're here at Glow with Britt, but this is Glow by Britt.
Yes.
Great story behind it.
So really excited to introduce the Glow by Britt makeup line. So Glow with Britt is the clinic,
Yes.
right? So we work together, we build a plan. Glow by Britt, I created and built the makeup line for others. So there's just a subtle little difference. And really this came about because so many people would often ask me, what do you have on your face? What is your makeup? What are you wearing today? And I was using a lot of little things. I was mixing and matching, and there were a lot of products, and it took me a lot of time. And I thought to myself,
how can we streamline this?
yes, let's just make it easier.
Yeah.
So that's really what how it kicked off.
And right when I walked in, you can't help but notice, first of all, the selection. And I love the gold
Thank
that
you.
drapes all of it. I mean, it really does kick it up a notch. It's
Thank
fancy
you.
stuff.
Thank you. No, I'm really proud of it. We've been working on this for over a year and a half. So it's been in the works. We've done a ton of trials and testings and working with a lot of people. And, you know, it's a place to start, a place to grow. But I think one of the most important things is it's able to provide a look quickly, right? So I run a business. I'm a mom. I'm usually running out the door. I don't have a lot of time. I need to be able to do my makeup in 5 minutes. And really, that is something that can be achieved.
And you're always about the health of skin. And that's another part of having your own mixture back here.
Yes,
your own
absolutely.
recipe.
Yes. And, you know, this is a mineral-based line, right? So I love working with mineral-based formulas. It's very natural, very healthy for the skin. Very, you know, a lot of people who are sensitive, they do really, really well with this product line. And honestly, it's really easy to achieve just a perfect glowing look.
I have to say that the last several times we had a chance to talk, you've been saying, oh, something big's coming, something big's coming. And she wouldn't tell me. So I'm just so glad that we finally get to be here to see it. So how does all this work?
So Dawn has so graciously offered to share her face. She didn't know this. I was like, can I use your face today? And she's really excited because she had some questions about the makeup. So basically, I'm just going to apply some product to her and show you guys how easy a glowing look is to achieve. So we're going to start with just a liquid tinted moisturizer. So I personally don't like foundation. It's too heavy. So I'm going to mix these two just a little bit. This is my favorite product. It's a liquid bronzer. It's also called the Sophia, which is my daughter. So that's another thing. I named every product in this line after the women in my life that mean so much to me. So that was a really big deal. So basically, Dawn has a clean face. I'm applying I'm using gloves, but we're just kind of putting this on, and then we're gonna rub it in. It's so easy.
And you said it's a moisturizer.
So
mixture?
This is a tinted moisturizer, and I like to mix it with just a little bit of a bronzer for a dewy, glowy type look. Right? It gives a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of color. So we're just gonna put this all over.
And that's gonna feel light on her as opposed to a foundation.
A foundation is, I personally don't like foundations just because I feel like they're too thick. They cover too much, and I just don't feel like my makeup sets well with it. That's just a personal preference. So I wanted to create something that gives you...
there's a lot of folks listening that are agreeing with you right now. So.
That gives you some coverage like a foundation would, but doesn't feel so thick and heavy.
You look fabulous.
So there,
you look wonderful.
That's just the base, right? So we just kind of throw that on, right? Like there's no magic to it, just throw it on. And then I'm gonna take a setting powder. So I personally like a powder. So we just take a little setting powder and we just kind of dab this all over. Just rub it in.
And again, quick,
easy. Mineral base. So a little goes a long way with this, which I actually had to get used to a little bit. Now it's okay. I mean, if you use a little bit too much in the beginning, you just wipe it off. But I do a lot of tapping. So then I'm just applying her powder. Look, go ahead.
And as we start to wrap this up, then the benefits behind your line, as we do talk Glow by Britt here at Glow with Britt.
Yeah, I think it's just, it's going to give you you can go from day to nighttime look effortlessly, right? You can get a dewy look, a glowy look, all in less than 5 minutes, right? I wanted to make things simplistic for women who, want to still look put together, but are super busy.
And how does it feel? You feeling good?
That feels great.
And then we're just doing a little bit of highlighter.
Having this applied to your face, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
So this is just, now we're going to just highlight her cheekbones. She has beautiful cheekbones. Like, I'm loving her cheekbones. So we're just going to highlight those.
And I just love how this is your line right here at Glow with Britt. It's called Glow by Britt.
Yes.
And I love how all the names, again, are someone that means something to you, some woman in your life that means so much to you.
Yeah, that was really important
That's
to me.
great.
So thank
Congratulations.
you. Thank you so much.
You look wonderful.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Certainly a wonderful story there with Glow by Britt. Glow with Britt is located at 4519 Highcrest Road in Rockford. And if you're interested in learning more about the Glow by Britt makeup line, you can call the number on screen or visit glowwithbritt.com. Coming up next, it's the beginning of a new month, which means a new assortment of movies are heading to theaters. We'll have a preview of some upcoming releases in just a minute.
From the future. From the hard-hitting action of your Rockford Ice Hawks.
Shot on net. Slaggert scores! Sit down to the goal line, draped it across, they score! It's Joey Anderson with a hat trick!
Local baseball action with your Beloit Sky Car.
He's hit the wall, and that ball is gone!
To watching the best high school teams across Illinois battle in IHSA football and basketball championships. Exciting college basketball from the MVC. To the now of the Chicago Blackhawks.
Score! Here's Bernard with a shot. Scores! What a goal!
The Chicago Bulls.
Drives it all the way! Dunk it, Kobe White! Get up or get out the way!
And the Chicago White Sox. The hottest sports action can be seen on the channels of WSLN, the State Line's home for sports.
Welcome back to the Morning Blend Extra. The summer movie season is upon us. Rick Damigella brings us a look at some of the potentially biggest movies that are heading to theaters during the month of May.
Look at you. So adorable.
May at the Movies kicks off with the latest Marvel Cinematic Universe adventure as the Thunderbolts assemble alongside Alec Baldwin in the western Rust. Both movies open May 2nd.
The
If it's a war you want with me, Jack, keep coming.
May 9th finds Kerry Washington and Omar Sy fighting to survive against their former employer in Shadow Force. May 16th marks the release of Hurry Up Tomorrow, a psychological thriller starring The Weeknd and Jenna Ortega, and the latest entry in the horror franchise, Final Destination: Bloodlines. Memorial Day weekend sees two heavyweights stomping into theaters, with the live-action Lilo and Stitch adaptation taking on Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning.
You knew Mr. Miyagi?
I did not come looking for Sensei Miyagi. I came looking for you.
And the month of May ends with a new Karate Kid adventure. Jackie Chan joins the story opposite Ralph Macchio when Karate Kid Legends arrives in theaters May 30th. Getting a refill of popcorn in Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Holy cow, the month of May just seems like it's really stacked with movies. I definitely know that coming up, Mission Impossible, what is it, The Final Reckoning? I'm definitely gonna have to check that one out. I did get the chance to see Thunderbolts last night. I'd give it a 7 out of 10. I was a fan, I liked it. If you're a fan of the MCU, you'll like it. That's gonna wrap up the Morning Blend Extra for today. Thank you so much again